Okay, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. Today we have a really cool review for you from our friends over at Crafter Blue. You guys may remember them. They're a brand from Hong Kong. They were established in 2015, and they produce aftermarket professional grade rubber dive straps, specifically for Seiko models. Their newest release for 2017 is, of course, the beloved SKX application. Now, this is something that I really had to turn their ear on because they weren't sure that there was a market for the SKX, being that they're, kind of a cheaper watch, and that, the strap, in some cases could be considered expensive. To me, I think this strap is an outstanding value, and that is just completely price point driven and quality driven. This is not anything honestly subjective. I would just compare it to what's on the market and the prices, let's say, of an isofrane or a Hirsch strap, which are very comparable, I'd say, in build quality and really just fantastic value. And then if you compare it now to even something that's application specific, like let's say a Rubber B or an Everest strap, I mean, those straps go for $200. These are application specific, and you're getting them for, I mean, really a little bit over $50. So it's a pretty crazy deal. I think these are really outstanding. If you guys did see my previous video where I did review their Sumo release, really fantastic. Since then, they have released the Marine Master 300 strap, and now with their latest release, they're really speaking to the masses now with the SKX release. So, needless to say, I'm pretty excited to bring these to you guys, show you guys all the different colors, the fit, the finish, and really just, for all the modders out there that really love to kind of recreate the SKX, this is definitely a viable option. I really don't think that there's, a strap that's out there that can really come close to this, even at really higher prices. I do plan on doing a ultimate dive strap face-off where I'll be comparing the universal straight end linked model from Crafter Blue against isofrane and against Hirsch. So, if you know anything about rubber dive straps, those are kind of the top tier players there, and they are very expensive. And I really do think that, Crafter Blue, they have something very special here. And it's something that once you have it in hand, honestly, you flex one of these guys around, have it on your wrist, it really makes you wonder how Isofrane gets away with charging so much for their strap. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and zoom out and talk a little bit about some of these details here for these straps. So we'll go ahead and start with the 009 mod from Artifice Horrorworks. So the watches I have here, I don't have stock SKXs, but I do have these mods. And if you're new to the channel, you might be wondering, oh, hey, that looks kind of crazy. But go ahead and look through and find the full review videos of these models. They're from Alex at Artifice Horrorworks. I did the designing, and he did all of the fine craftsmanship here and kind of putting everything together. And these are really great. They're kind of my modern interpretation of what a new SKX could be. Like, let's say if the SRP line was to release an SKX replacement apart from the turtle. So just so you know, and if you like these guys, I'm sure you're going to comment and ask about it, but there have been some previous reviews that go into better details. So the retail price on these straps actually is $65, which to me, again, outstanding. And they even have kind of a pre-order sale price going on right now for about $55, which I think is more than worth it. I could see these honestly being, these selling at $80, $90, $100, $110, $120. I think they'd still be a good value. I think the only problem is that the watch itself is going to cost, in the $200 range. So it's a little bit of a tougher sell, but I think just based on the merits of the strap itself, it definitely is an extreme value here. And as you can see, this navy blue, just perfect. The matte finish on there, is just beautiful, definitely very tough and rugged. I did have this on today at the beach, so this one has been field tested, and it stood up really, really well, rinsed it off, and just fantastic, wore fantastic, looked great, felt great. So really, really great piece. Now, a little bit about the specs here. These are 22 millimeters, and it tapers down to a 20 millimeter, you know, towards the end here, and then the buckle basically is a 20 millimeter buckle, you know, from the inside, and that adds a lot to the comfort. But not only does it taper from here 22 millimeters down to 20, it also tapers in thickness, where it actually starts out being about 7.2 millimeters, and as it comes down the length of the strap, by the time you get to the end here, it's down to about 3.5 millimeters, which is really, really nice and really thoughtful that they were able to get that tapering. And just as a comparison here, it's a little bit harder to tell, but if you take a look here at the end of, you know, the beginning of the straps here, those couple of millimeters do make a big difference in comfort. And I mean, even though these are still a little bit thicker, I'd say, than an iso frame, it's just really unbelievable how much more pliable and soft these feel. Yet, you know, of course, it's not soft in a rubbery or like bad way. I mean, it's just really, I mean, ideal, if you ask me. So let's go ahead and take a look at the hardware here. Another fantastic piece, really finely etched wording there, professional, you know, ties in with it being a professional grade, you know, a very tool, you know, dive watch piece. It definitely is not much of a show strap, you know. It's not some crazy funky special stitching or exotic flesh or hide or anything like that. This is just really beautifully done natural rubber, and then you have a really nicely finished buckle there. It's, you know, of course, it's something that has to be a bit vanilla because it is going to be reused on a bunch of other models. But I think, you know, of course, it flows really well with the design language, and, you know, it does the job definitely. And on the underside, as you can see, it is signed Crafter Blue, which I think is a nice touch, and also very reminiscent of iso frame. So as you can see, the fitment on here is just outstanding. It just flows with the case. I mean, I can pull on these guys here, really nicely done. Just this thing is just so pliable and comfortable. Very, very nice. You know what? It actually might come across a little bit clearer if you check it out, you know, on one of these unattached models here. So I'll go ahead and get to the wrist shots at the end, but let's go ahead and take a closer look here. So this one, as you can see, it's a little bit brighter, being orange, but definitely a classic rubber dive strap option. So as you can see, the details show up a little bit better on camera, so I'm going to go ahead and use this to show the underside and some of the finer details. So really nice form and function here. This actually does add a lot of breathability and comfort by having, you know, kind of this ribbed underside, and then of course it's signed, and you can see it's the, you know, the 05 strap. Very nice, Crafter Blue, ultimate diver strap. Really, really cool, and it's just that extra little bit of detail that, you know, they could have easily, you know, just kind of passed up on this and not had these cool little details, and they would have been fine, and this thing still would have been an amazing value, but they just went the extra mile, and, you know, just kind of like signing the underside of the clasp, having this really great stainless steel strap keeper there. You know, it's just really, really impressive. And, you know, other companies should take note. Now, as you can see here, the fitted end is just so nicely just crafted. You know, no pun intended, Crafter Blue, but I mean, this end link here, the way it fits, it's just fantastic. You know, it really has an OEM fit, and it just adds such a finished look and feel to the SKX that really no other rubber dive strap gives. I mean, you know, there's some that are going to have a different style, of course, and some are going to be a little bit more sporty, a little bit more extreme. I think this actually has a really nice balance as far as what it adds to the SKX. Now, let's go ahead and also check out here on the 007. Again, this is a mod from Artifice Horrorworks. So, you know, don't be alarmed if this doesn't look like a standard SKX 007. This is the ultimate SKX, hacking hand wide movement, sapphire, you know, of course, that great ceramic insert, updated dial and hands and everything like that, black date disc, really nice. Special monster crown here that's been updated to Prospects spec logo, you know, and then of course a little plug there, Artifice Horrorworks, outstanding fit and finish, really great. But this review is not about the watch, just give you a little background on it in case you're new to the channel. Make sure to check out my video playlist there if you want to find more details on this bad boy. But as you can see on the black, really just the tolerances on this case, this thing just, especially with the drilled lugs, I mean, it made it even more easy to just kind of put on there, and it just fits really, really well. I really like the way these fit and the way they look, the way they feel. You know, as you can see, I think somebody had mentioned, I'd posted on social media picture of these, and they were saying they were a little bit concerned about the thickness. And I mean, I think the thickness really suits the watch. I think standalone, of course, maybe these might seem a little thick, but I mean, if you were to compare it to another kind of heavy duty drive strap, you'd find that this is the right thickness. But as far as, I mean, just on the watch itself, I mean, as you can see, I mean, this is a thick piece. Although it wears really nicely because of these really great contours on the case, it's still a thicker piece, and I think it does warrant a thicker strap. So let's go ahead and get this one on wrist. You guys can get the little demo here on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. I like to get it on there, not too tight, but just to leave a little bit of breathing space, just in case, you know, my wrist does swell or something like that. Just give me a little bit of range of motion. But I think it just fits fantastically there. Sorry about that. So as you can see, wears really, really well, follows the lines of the wrist really nicely, and gives you something nice to look at underneath too. I mean, this is not by any means a, you know, a bad looking piece. I mean, it really has legs. You know, of course, yes, it is, you know, a tool piece, and it definitely is something that is function over form, but I mean, it's just really a fantastic balance. I think what they've done here is they really created a very, very premium finished look. I mean, even on a stock SKX, this is going to look fantastic. And then, of course, if you're a big modder, I mean, this is something that really just adds a whole new level of feeling of completion, and just kind of like a tailored suit, right? There's off the rack, that's going to have a straight end link there, and then there's fitted, right? That's just tailored, and just wraps around the silhouette of this beautiful legendary case so well. And I just can't get enough of that. I just think it looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and get the other, let's get the Pepsi here on. I don't know if I can even do this on camera because I am left-handed, so it's a little strange doing this, getting it on there with my right hand and onto the left there, but let's give it a shot. Okay, a little bit of breathing space. Perfect. So you can get an idea there. Now, I did wear the blue one. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. To the beach today. Definitely very nice, and stood up to the water. Everything, you know, got very wet. Just rinsed it off and went. No signs of wear. I mean, this thing is just really, really well done. Still has that nice vanilla scent, but it's not overpowering like some straps where they just feel like, or I should say they smell like they've been just dipped in some type of aftermarket scent. I think this definitely has a nice scent to it, but it's definitely not overpowering or, you know, anything where it's going to be a little bit odd or awkward. So it does come in, you know, a couple different other shades as well. As you can see, this really, really nice yellow, which I think would also complement the black. I mean, the black can really go with anything, the orange or even the blue. But, you know, I think the orange, you know, if you're going to go with just stock there, I think the blue and the orange would be great options for the 009. While, you mean, really the 007, I mean, you could go with the yellow or the orange or the black, or even the blue. You know, if you have, like, let's say you have an aftermarket sapphire crystal on there, it has really thick AR coating or something like that. Maybe the blue is where you want to go, or maybe you get a little blue insert, or yours is aged a little bit and has a nice patina going, and you want to update that. You know, you might have the worn insert, and maybe you want to match it with a little bit of a blue strap here. So I mean, those are definitely options. And if you've noticed here, they actually do have a really, really cool bezel insert, sapphire, fully loomed, under kind of their other storefront name, which would be Bluebird Dives. So I wanted to show you guys that. Unfortunately, I do have some mods in the works where these will actually go on there, but in the meantime, I did want to make sure that I was able to get you a nice loom shot here, kind of show you what this guy has to offer, because I'm very, very impressed with how nicely this thing glows. Okay, so that's focused well enough there. So as you can see, fully loomed, very, very nice, very sharp. You know, of course it is sapphire, so that's really, really strong. It's going to be much more scratch resistant. Let's see, actually, let me turn the lights on real quick. I'll zoom out here, and let me compare it here on the wrist. Let me charge up this guy, just so you can get an idea of how well this actually matches. Okay, hit the lights there. So, I mean, right? Looks pretty great, I think. Definitely, the loom is keeping up with this amazing Seiko Lumebrite. Really fantastic. I'm looking forward to, you know, ooh, kind of got it moving around there, but I'm really looking forward to debuting this on an upcoming mod that I'm again collaborating with Alex from Artifice Horrorworks on. But as you can see, really, really fine piece. So definitely check out Bluebird Dives, because they are coming out with some really cool loomed bezel options, and I gotta say, I'm really, really impressed with the execution, and I just think it's really great that they are really spreading their wings and kind of trying new things and bringing, you know, they're capitalizing on this market of kind of that Seiko enthusiast and also Seiko modders, right? So really, really cool, fully loomed bezel insert. You know, you can kind of see it at an angle there. Really nicely done, well executed. So, all right, guys. If you liked the video, please do hit like. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for more content just like this. Let me know what you guys think. I think these are really outstanding. Hopefully they do start shipping these soon. You know, I don't work for Crafter Blue, so I don't know exactly what their schedule is. I was able to get these pre-release because I was kind of the one who turned their ear in the first place to let them know, hey, there is a market for SKXs, even though they're a little bit cheaper and they're discontinued, and you know, it was a little bit of a fight there. But I mean, just obviously considering that I have these two mods, people are definitely willing to spend money on the SKX to upgrade it. So with that said, have a good one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks again, guys. Bye.